Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna start bringing a little pillow.
You kind of get lost in it if you, yeah. Oh, sure. Looks like a lot. Yikes.
Mayor, it's 6 o'clock.
Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the meeting of Bella Vista City Council, September 22, 2025. First item is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Here.
Harp,
Here.
Hughes, absent, Newport,
Here.
Mayor Flynn.
Thank you. I'd like to amend the rules and the order of procedure,
Suspend the rules.
suspend the rules and amend the procedure, so the order, so that we have a couple proclamations and some folks here for that. So I'd like to do that before the citizen input, because we've got a lot of citizen input.
Move to amend the agenda. Second.
To suspend the rules.
And the rules. Second.
That was Larry Wilms and Craig Honchel. Roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes, absent, and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. I'm going to go ahead and read the first proclamation. It's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. This is the proclamation. Whereas childhood cancer is the leading cause of death by disease in children. And whereas 1 in 285 children in the United States will be diagnosed by their 20th birthday. And whereas 46 children per day are diagnosed with cancer in the U.S. And whereas the average age of diagnosis is 6 years old. And whereas 80% of childhood cancer patients are diagnosed late and with metastatic disease. And whereas 2/3 of childhood cancer patients will have chronic health conditions as a result of their treatment toxicity, with 1/4 being classified as severe to life-threatening. And whereas approximately 1/2 of childhood cancer families rate the associated financial toxicity due to out-of-pocket expenses as considerable to severe. And whereas in the last 30 years, only 6 new drugs have been approved by the FDA to specifically treat childhood cancer. And whereas hundreds of nonprofit organizations at the local and national level are helping children with cancer and their families cope through educational, emotional, and financial support. And whereas researchers and healthcare professionals work diligently dedicating their expertise to treat and cure children with cancer. And whereas too many children are affected by this deadly disease and more must be done to raise awareness and find a cure. Whereas Elijah High, Forever 15, brought joy, kindness, and quiet strength to those around him, and his life, though far too short, left a permanent mark on the heads of his family, friends, heads and hearts of his family, friends, and all who knew him. We remember Elijah not only for the battles he faced, but for the love and courage he showed. Now, therefore, I, John D. Flynn, Mayor of Bella Vista, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So I'd like to present this, and people attending are Dory Madry, her daughter Mackenzie Madry, and Heather High.
I just want to say thank you to the city of Bella Vista for always supporting our childhood cancer families, especially the High family during this time last year, and supporting Elijah and his family during events and making everything so special for their family. So on behalf of our families and all of our childhood cancer families, we'd like to present you with our gold bow so that you can proudly display it at your city offices. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one more proclamation on a totally different subject matter. Mayor's proclamation. Whereas proper septic system use and routine care are vital to protecting public health, preserving our highly valued groundwater, lakes, streams, and waterways, and avoiding costly repairs that can result from neglect. And whereas nearly 13,000 septic systems in the city of Bella Vista treat wastewater from humans and businesses, and whereas wastewater professionals of Benton County use their expertise in the design, installation, maintenance, and regulation of septic systems in the city of Bella Vista. And whereas the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's Septic Smart program, used by Benton County health officials, does educate homeowners about the need for proper septic system use and routine maintenance. And whereas residents in the environment of the city of Bella Vista benefit from properly designed, installed, operated, and maintained septic systems, now therefore I, John D. Flynn, Mayor of the city of Bella Vista, do hereby proclaim the week of September 15 to 19, 2025 as Septic Smart Week in the city of Bella Vista, and I urge all people to join me in this special observance. Signed this 15th day of September 2025, Mayor John D. Flynn. Thank you for your attention. And now we'll go ahead with citizen input. Per the rules, there's a 3-minute per person time limit to address the council on any topic of that person's choosing. The total time allotted for citizen input is 30 minutes. Any time extension beyond the 30-minute total will be at the discretion of the city council. And I'll read the name of each person. The very first person is Brandon Kelly of 1 Henrietta Lane in Bella Vista.
So last time we met, I covered a lot of the technical issues of the AMP and kind of the work that we do, et cetera, et cetera. I just wanted to talk a little bit about just the day-to-day, because sometimes you don't know of all the stuff that Discover Bella Vista or AMP does on a weekly basis. So I just wanted to share with you what we've done just since we met last time. So we ran 3 commercials, full-size commercials, that are promoting short-term rentals as a great alternative and even better alternative to hotels when it comes to mountain biking, et cetera, generating 3,311 landing page views. So those are landing pages that are dedicated to taking folks from the commercial to the short-term rental site, sharing with them what that experience is like. We partnered with Pink Bike outside Visit Bentonville Oz Trails Bike Park on preparing for Pink Bike's arrival. So that means all of us working together to make sure that when Pink Bike gets here, that they're riding in the right places, they're having the best experience they possibly can. Not only is that partnership necessary to bring something like Pink Bike here, but the collaboration once they get here is essential for them to have a great time, to create great content that will in the end bring folks here. We received tear sheets from 3 magazines with full-page ads, so we receive those all the time. So those are full-page ads in Bike Arkansas, in Arkansas Wild, in travel guides, etc. So again, we make those ads, we do all the photography, we send them out, pay for them, and those ads come back to us as tear sheets. We partnered with American Adventure Race Association. They are an adventure race national. They had their finals here. One of the legs was in Bella Vista, so that was the mountain bike leg. And so we partnered with them to make sure that the awards that they got were labeled as Bella Vista. So the stage winners got an award that said Bella Vista. So even though they raced all over Northwest Arkansas, we made sure they knew they were racing here. And when they came back, again, we're going to share with them what it's like to spend the night here and have that overnight experience. We partnered with Lifetime Fitness to develop the Lifetime Genius Guide Shakeout Ride. So when folks are going to come here for the Lifetime race, it starts in Kohler. It ends in Bentonville. I mentioned that before. That can be a little bit confusing. So we partnered with a local guide here in town. We're going to have a ride for them at Kohler, at the packet pickup, so we can take them over to Down Under, share with them, hey, by the way, 90% of your race is happening in Bella Vista. It also gives us a touch point for hospitality, so we can make an impression on them that we are glad they're here, we look forward to them coming back, we can build lifetime customers one touch point at a time. We partnered with the Ride Series to create a follow-up video on our guide to having a great time at Little Sugar. So again, we're updating the content. It's not just content that we put up, we make it current, we adjust it. Oh, is that my time? Okay, well, that was just a snapshot into the world of Discover Bella Vista.
Thank you. The next speaker is Allison Nation of 17 Thirsk Lane in Bella Vista.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council and fellow neighbors. I have lived on 17 Thirsk Lane for the last 7.5 years, and I'm here tonight as a resident who cares about our city's future and to share my expertise regarding tourism marketing. As Chief Marketing Officer at Visit Bentonville, I work daily with tourism marketing and A&P commissions across our region. I'm sharing this professional expertise because I want Bella Vista to thrive. Let me clarify 2 critical points based on my experience. In Arkansas, advertising and promotion commissions exist to promote their city, raising awareness among potential visitors and locals about things to do, places to eat, and where to stay. The A&P is a pass-through tax paid by customers, 2% on lodging and 1% on prepared food. Due to the nature of the lodging tax, it is inherently paid by visitors. That 1% restaurant tax, literally 1 penny per dollar, is paid by anyone dining out. From my professional perspective, here's what our businesses need to understand. These pennies fund professional marketing, like Brandon was just explaining, that drives traffic directly to our restaurants and lodging properties. The A&P provides free marketing services that individual businesses often can't afford on their own. Professional photography, social media campaigns, website listings, regional advertising, and participation in statewide tourism promotions, often with national and international reach. I see this value every day in my work. Abolishing this tax might save a few steps in bookkeeping, but it eliminates thousands of dollars in free marketing value that drives customers through our doors. Our short-term rentals and restaurants need more customers, not less marketing support. What I know from working regionally, tourism in 2024 had a $17.4 billion economic impact on the state of Arkansas. The proven A&P commission structure exists specifically to help cities capitalize on and strategically grow their tourism potential. By abolishing the program, Bella Vista forfeits its seat at the table in the state and regional tourism initiatives, ultimately undermining our ability to position ourselves competitively. I did bring a handout from our professional association, Destinations International, that talks about the community vitality wheel. It just explains visits and living, and I can't even say it, it's like a poem, but I'm gonna leave them here for Wanda to pass out, and I'd love for you to reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to discuss it. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Garrett Hubbard of Dolphin Circle in Bella Vista.
Good evening. Once upon a time, there was a young couple, both working professionals in the DC area. And then they had their first child, and it changed everything. They moved out of their townhome and 10 miles further away from the city into a single-family home. Then they had their second child, and that really changed everything. And every year, the cost of living just kept going up, and the out-of-state grandparents felt further and further away. So that family said, let's move somewhere closer to grandparents that is also more affordable. But after 2.5 years of searching and visiting cities around the country, they were discouraged because they couldn't find the place they were supposed to be. Until one day, they saw some marketing for Northwest Arkansas, a state they never dreamed they would live in. And because of that, they visited Northwest Arkansas, seeing the green spaces, seeing the potential for a shorter commute, and most importantly, meeting the kind people that live there. And then they saw more marketing and stories written about the place. They were convinced. They said, look at all the trees, look at all the hills, and the beauty in Bella Vista. Until finally, they bought a piece of property in Bella Vista, now within hours of grandparents. And since that day, they decided to leave DC and moved to Northwest Arkansas. They celebrated the moment. They chose to live out their dreams and enjoy the lakes, trails, and hidden gems in the Ozarks. That fairy tale story is the story of my family. My kids are now 9 and 12, and we wouldn't have found this area had nobody invested in telling the story of this place. Since I've left my journalism career in Washington, D.C., working for the largest newspaper in the country, I've had the opportunity to do storytelling of my own with organizations like Nike, Google, Arkansas State Tourism, State Parks, University of Arkansas, to help them tell real stories about people affected by their mission or brand. I've also had the opportunity to show the world what I love about my community by producing video stories with Discover Bella Vista. I produced one video that has over 400,000 views, and it's a 17-minute video. And I did the back of napkin math. That's like a bajillion minutes of watch time on YouTube. So for this reason, it kind of perplexes me for a proposal to abolish the AMP. Coca-Cola, Ford, Las Vegas have not stopped investing in marketing. Some of the most well-known brands in the world. It is said that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, I think what happens in Bella Vista should not stay in Bella Vista. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Mike Maloney of West Wallace in Cave Springs.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. What's a guy from Cave Springs doing in Bella Vista? So happens that I'm the chairman of the Northwest Arkansas Tourism Association, and I'm also the director of tourism for the city of Eureka Springs. One of the strongest assets that Bella Vista has earned with the Northwest Arkansas Tourism Association is its membership. Our association's made up of Benton, Washington, Carroll, and Madison counties. And one of the measurements of the success of our region is the numbers. Let's take a look for just a second. 2% tax on lodging is statewide, but it's no surprise that Benton County is the second largest city, actually second largest county in the state of Arkansas that gets those numbers. The only one that's stronger is Pulaski County in central Arkansas. It's a big thing. Agriculture is the #1 industry in Arkansas. Tourism is #2, just because of the amount of jobs and the amount of the economy that comes into the state of Arkansas from other parts of the country. Under Governor Sanders, our current commitment to the state is to double tourism in the next 10 years. And what that means is that tourism, as it doubles, will also double the industry in Bella Vista. That means more jobs, more opportunities for people to become part of this community. And not only that, when people spend money on tourism, it also raises the sales tax numbers. And working in government, what we want is big sales tax numbers. Bella Vista benefits from the state with monies that come from the state of Arkansas. Each region gets a pretty healthy amount of money. Our region gets about $200,000 a year from the state of Arkansas, just to promote this area that we call Benton, Washington, Carroll, and Madison County. If we lose Bella Vista, we lose those monies because you have backed out. Monies that get to Bella Vista come from Airbnb, they come from VRBO, they come from Evolve. Those are tax numbers. Those, again, as Allison said just a minute ago, you don't have to pay those. They're paid by the tourists that come here. One of the saddest examples of the loss of tourism dollars was the state of Colorado in the mid-2000s when they completely eliminated the A&P tax in Colorado. First year loss of business was $1 billion. Second year loss, over another $1 billion. They had to bring that tax back. So I think it's essential for you, as the sage council people you are, to take a hard look at what will happen. People are continuing to discover Bella Vista because guess what happened when I-49 went around you? You lost a lot of people. You need to reinvent that. You need to keep it and keep people discovering this fine town. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Sean Mills of 17 Dumfries Lane in Bella Vista.
17 Dumfries Lane, Ward 3. We're experiencing quite a bit of growth over there, hence my comments. We've had 3 houses built. I live on a lane. As everyone knows, a lane is a circle. And there's been 1 house built at the head of the lane and 2 houses built to the left of our house. The impact on our roads has been severe. To say the contractors care about our neighborhoods would be a lie. I've spoken to the builder, and a very nice young man, but his goal is to build his house, put it on the market, sell it, and move on to his next project. The issue at hand is drainage and damage to the roads. I just visited with the street department. Street department came out, took a look at it. They found a solution. They're going to bring ditches back down where they're all been flattened out. The water had been running to the circle or to the island. There's a crossover culvert. The crossover culvert has been crushed by the construction vehicles. And at one time, when it rained heavily, all that water came down my driveway. So the remediation is put some concrete over the crossover culvert so it doesn't get crushed, but then it shoots out into the new house's driveway and has already washed out about 8 inches under their driveway. Brought that to the contractor's attention. He said he'd have his guys address it. They did. They threw some rocks in the hole, covered up with gravel. This last rain this weekend washed it all out again. Had some guys out looking at it. The city's responsibility, or the street department's responsibility, ends at the end of that culvert. Then it becomes a neighborhood problem, and that's why I'm here. I don't want it to become a neighborhood problem. I want the contractor to do his job and fix the problem. I don't know how anybody could issue him his CO and allow that water damage or that drainage. It's going to go down across my new neighbor's septic, goes down into a creek right behind us. All that stuff is just going to flow down into the rivers and the lakes. So anything that you can do. I mean, I know there's a lot of issues with construction in Bella Vista. And growth can be good if it's managed properly. And that's what I'm asking for. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Sarah Drew of Northeast 2nd Street in Bentonville.
Good evening, council members. I serve as the Director of Operations for Women of Oz, and I'm also co-owner of the Ride Series. I'm also a wife and a mom, and my family and I have had the pleasure of creating content here on the Oz Trails for years now. We help people build their vacations, where to stay, where to ride the trails, what food to eat. And we've had the pleasure of doing that for Discover Bella Vista. I want to read to you an email that we received literally just on Saturday. Paul wrote, "I saw your great video on YouTube about the ultimate family vacation in Bella Vista and loved it. Great video. My wife and I are bringing our 3 boys up to a vacation there in a little over a week. I would love to be able to go on a couple's ride with my wife. Do you know if there's any day camps? So we could drop our kids off and go on an 1.5-hour ride. Any ideas? Thanks again. Loved your video." This one video has 10,000 views. And this is just one example, one family, but we hear this story all the time. People are discovering Bella Vista and choosing to bring their families here because of the work that Discover Bella Vista, the AMP, and many of us in this room are doing. I know as a mom, I'm the decision maker. I choose where we go on vacation and why. And I have to hear that why, the story, and that's what we're here to do. Without the AMP, that story won't be told. So I urge you to keep the AMP and keep Discover Bella Vista and all of us doing what we do so well.
Thank you. The next speaker is Rich Drew of 1108 Northeast 2nd Street in Bentonville.
Good evening, council. Thank you. Sarah's my boss. I also work with the Ride Series, and I'm one of the professionals that Allison spoke about, and my job is to try to tell stories passionately, to convey to people why they need to come visit places and ride mountain bikes and everything that takes place in and around that adventure. What we're seeing is an uptick in the amount of AMPs that we do this for around the country. So thankfully, as a professional, I do this in a lot of different places with my family. And what they're asking is, can you tell the story of why what we've invested in, what we've built, is better than these other places? Because they understand people can only take so many vacations. And quite frankly, what I hear a lot here is, well, everybody knows about what we have here. Well, I'm here to tell you, I travel the country and I speak to all these people. And guess what? They don't. Some of them have heard of this place. Some of them maybe have been here. But what we have is the opportunity to shape that experience by educating them digitally before they come here, giving them the best guide map to plan their vacations. And furthermore, I think it's something that we need to start looking at potentially to reach these people in a more analog manner. We live in this digital world. People have infinite amounts of videos to watch about different trails around here. To have somebody like Brandon leading the charge in producing and directing key messaging that really gets across to people what they need to hear, so we can have our area here stand out when people choose where to go to ride their mountain bikes and to spend what is frequently a lot of money. So it's a little bit of a different angle than I think many other people can speak to because they don't have the data we do. So thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Greg Denifee of 245 Rebottom Lane and 32 Panine Lane.
Thank you. My family, we relocated here from Dallas, Texas. I'm an officer at a rather large financial services organization. We would go to Colorado every single summer. Aspen, Snowmass, Vail, Breckenridge. That was just where we went. And I saw an ad on Facebook about this area. Never been here before, never really spent any time in Arkansas. So my wife and I decided, it's only a 5.5 hour drive, let's go check this out. So we came up here to Bella Vista in Northwest Arkansas and just absolutely fell in love. So we decided we want to come back the next month. So we got online looking for bike instructors, and ironically, we found the Drew family, and Rich Drew ended up training my children how to jump their bikes, and they can pretty much jump anything in Northwest Arkansas thanks to that gentleman. So we decided after coming 6 of the next 7 months, we got to stop giving our money to other people. So we bought a house that we thought would be a vacation home. We spent the summer in it. At the end of the summer, we all looked at each other and we asked our children, would you rather live here in Bella Vista or in Dallas with all your friends? And they said, we want to live here. This place is a absolute crown jewel. There's no doubt about it. When I think about all of Northwest Arkansas, when we parked ourselves in that house, we were trying to buy our next home to get closer to Bentonville. And every month that we were in Bella Vista, we recognized we don't want to be in Bentonville. Sorry, Bentonville, y'all can have it. Bella Vista is absolutely where it is at. And I had a friend call me in the financial services industry, and he said, hey, Greg, you're never going to believe this. I called your CEO, and I name dropped you, and he said, the first thing that came out of his mouth was, I don't know if the city of Bentonville pays him to talk about Bentonville and Bella Vista, but they should be paying him to do that. And the reason I do this is because a pastor once told me, he said, when you have an incredible experience in your life, it's not fulfilled until you share it with somebody, right? If you're on a sunset or on a beach and you're alone, this is why you take a photograph of it and you throw it online if you're by yourself, because you want to share that moment with people. What has been built here, I am a massive evangelist. And when I do that, as recently as today, with a woman who works in my company that lives in Arizona, she said, well, my husband's in the Marines, so we move around a lot. And I said, well, that's okay. Why don't you invest in a lot in Bella Vista? But whenever I'm selling Bella Vista, the first thing that I do is I shoot them Discover Bella Vista, the website, because I need a landing place for them to be able to go to research it. So I'm clearly a massive fan of what it is that you're doing in this area, massive fan of what they do. And the way I see it, and I recognize the building stuff, I agree. There's a lot of things that, there's a lot of growth that's going on, and that's just kind of part of it. But at the same time, the more of this special place that I can share with people to come here and spend their money, and I've spent $50,000, I did the math, on bikes before upgrades here, and we pay for all sorts of stuff, and a healthy tax too. I want to share that. I want them to be able to come experience it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. The next speaker is Dex Drew, 1108 Northeast 2nd Street in Bentonville.
I'm short and my story is going to be short, but I'm here today because I've been in some awesome videos for Bella Vista, and they've shown me places that are really cool and that not a lot of people might come here and just go to, let's say, golf. But if they see one of our videos, they might go to all these other places. They might hike, they might bike. And some people that have watched these videos have moved here, and that's why I think we should keep A&P. I'm done.
Thank you. The next speaker is Randy Fisher of 41 Windtire Lane.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Appreciate everybody sharing about Bella Vista. It's a great place to be here. I've been visiting my in-laws down here for 35 years and lived here for the last 5 years. Well, saying all these great things about Bella Vista, you see the growth around. I'm not sure any of you live on a street or not been down a street that there's a house going up on. In saying that, I'm building a garage in my extra lot. I've been in construction my whole life. You name it, I've done it, built it, land development, housing, whatever. But there's things in construction, you do things the right way and you pay for things, you pay for permitting. And through this process of permitting, I've come to the realization that I'm not sure how the building department's actually still afloat. After going through the process of what, we have sort of a unique situation here, which is to me a little screwed up. But anyway, that's another whole conversation. So talking about some permit fees here, so we go in to get a permit, we go to the ACC. That's all great. ACC says, oh, it looks pretty like this. All right, you're out of there in an hour pretty much if you got everything in order. So what's that cost you? $618. Keep that in mind. So now you take your permitting, all your drawings, and you take them over to the building department. But that really is the engineering department first, because you have to get a GEC permit. And that's another process, because they're going to come out and look at all your property, see what you have to do, see the erosion, see the topos, and look at, your lot, will it fit everything on there? That's all good and fine. So doing all this, having engineers looking at the plan, do you know what the permit fee is for that? $25. $25. So I have engineers looking at my plan. I have guys coming out to the lot to inspect the plant job site, re-inspect it after everything's in place, and then they hand it over to the building department. Okay. Building department, once again, they have to review your plan. So somebody in there has to review your plan. They look through it all, click back to you. So my fee, I'm building a 1,200 square foot garage, which there are some houses going in there 1,200 square feet. I get it. Not very big. That fee is $393. And there's no impact fee that I know of, because that's all I'm paying. So I add these all together. The building department has to come out there to inspect it once you dig it, footings, walls, foundations, rough inspection, plumbing, electrical, roof, probably 8 to 10 times at least, final inspection. Okay, add it up. I'm in construction, I've been in construction, we paid enormous fees. I'm from Northern Illinois, trust me. Do I like higher taxes? No, that's why I'm down here. But, you know what? I had a broom on my truck. I picked it up at the end of the day and swept the road. We have no impact fees. There's no money to go back when you call in complaints, because I've tried to call in there. And after talking to some people in the building department, I realized it's not the building department's problem. They don't have any money to send people out there to do re-inspections. They don't you know what their fines are? They're double at $25. That is not paying for anything. So my point is here real quick, we need to raise the amount for the fees because the builders that are coming here and the investors are raping the village, tearing up the streets and areas and leaving, and we're gonna end up paying for this 5 years down the road. That's all I have to say, thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Becky Parmalee of 2 Brome Lane in Bella Vista.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Becky Parmalee, and I run your farmers market. I have 112 small businesses that participate in the market this year, and in the last 3 years under my tenure, we've grown over 260% growth in market in small business in Bella Vista. And with that being said, my farmers need your visitors. I need the A&P. The people who come to Bella Vista, the people who come to my market are Bella Vista residents. They come to get their groceries. Our businesses are kind of broken into 4 categories. You have food that is perishable and non-perishable. You have consumable businesses, things like candles, soap, greeting cards, card makers. And then you have your giftable category. Those are things like cutting boards, blankets, those baby shower, wedding presents. Our residents don't buy those every week, though my tourists do. And so if you want a keychain that has Lake Windsor on it, or Cooper Chapel on it, or any of those things, those are the things. We have iron-on patches, we have t-shirts, we have keychains, we have beautiful maps. Those go home with my tourists. So my businesses need people who come here to participate in the tourism economy, and then my businesses pay their taxes right back into Bella Vista. So it's this growing cycle of economic development for the community. So my market really needs the A&P, and I don't want to see it go. And yeah, that's it. With collaboration, that's what I want, is more business to grow in Bella Vista, so we can all collaborate and continue to grow together. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. The next speaker is Jean Galloway of 25 Kayleen Drive.
Mayor, council members, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. As we all know, at the heart of every safe, thriving community are its first responders, our EMTs, paramedics, firefighters, and police officers. These are the people who show up on our worst days. They don't just respond to emergencies, they save lives, they bring calm to chaos, and they help us recover when disaster strikes. Their commitment is unmatched, but commitment alone isn't enough. Excellence requires investment, starting with fair pay, strong benefits, and a culture of respect. First responders routinely face trauma, physical risk, and long, unpredictable hours. They miss holidays and family milestones to serve us and this city. And while they don't do this for the money, we can't expect them to stay without compensation that reflects their sacrifice and skills. Competitive salaries, pensions, health care, and family benefits are not extras, they're essentials. Without them, we lose experienced professionals to burnout or to better supported cities and lower risk private jobs. When we lose people, recruitment gets harder. That affects morale, response time, and long-term public safety. But when we invest in our people, when we show them they're valued, they stay. They recruit others. They build a culture of excellence that lasts. Let's also remember, first responders carry the weight of their work far beyond their shifts. Supporting them isn't just smart management, it's a statement of values. If we want to be a strong, resilient city, we must invest in the people who run toward danger when others run away. Because here's the truth. Great cities don't happen by accident. They're built by leaders who make bold decisions and invest in what matters. Let's be one of those cities. Let's support our first responders, not with just words, but with action. Thank you very much.
Mayor, the 30-minute period has expired.
Okay. I could use a motion.
Motion to
Someone-
extend.
Second.
That was Anna Isbell and Larry Wilms. Roll call vote on motion to extend the time period.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. Not sure why we have a time limit. We've done that every time it comes up, so. The next one is Mark Marsiglio of 218 Southwest Glover.
Good to see you again, Mayor. Thanks,
Hi.
Council. I represent Trail Pilot. We are a service that is provided is funded by the AMP that is put in place to help tell the story of the community to your visitors. So we are a guided audio tour platform for mountain bikers, giving local riders a way to deliver their favorite routes in the area. We have 10 different tours in Bella Vista, and we wrap some really good messaging in this guided tour experience, including how to not annoy the golfers, how to park in legal and official trailhead parking areas, and then where to go after their ride so that they can enjoy their local town. This service is a visitor experience amenity. It's funded by the AMP, but we think we make visitors better visitors. So when they show up, they can enjoy themselves a little bit better, understand what makes Bella Vista special, and be better visitors. So just wanted to make sure you guys knew that was one of the services offered by the AMP. Thanks.
Thank you. Next speaker is Michael Spivey of Southwest A Street in Bentonville.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I'll speak fast to maybe get through this quickly. I am the president and CEO of the Ozark Foundation. We are a nonprofit here in Northwest Arkansas. We own, operate, and support a variety of outdoor recreation events throughout the year. Last year, I believe we supported 40-something events from mountain biking to road cycling to swimming, multi-sport, adventure racing, and other events. The soul of our organization is family and community events. Just last weekend, we had an event planned here in Bella Vista called the Oz Kids Fat Tire Criterium Race, which is a race for children ages 2 to 10. Unfortunately, because of the rain, we canceled it. But we had 200 children, plus probably another 800 caregivers, grandparents that would have been here, but we'll be back on that one. We work very closely with Discover Bella Vista. They make it possible for us to put on events affordably. One of our missions, we have a dual mission. One part of our mission is to position Northwest Arkansas as a premier outdoor recreation destination in the United States. The other part of our mission is to create affordability, to lower barriers to entry to outdoor recreation. We all know that whether it's a bike, whether it's access to swimming, it's not always affordable to others. So our events are affordable. The event that I just described in Bella Vista cost us $40 per participant. But because of the support of our sponsors, including Discover Bella Vista, we offered that for $15. So every time a child registered, we suffered a $25 investment that we gladly accept because we love putting on these events for young families. And we all know the importance of outdoor recreation in today's society with families and young people who spend far too much time on their sofas and on their phones. And here in Bella Vista, I mentioned 40 events. Last year, we put on an enduro style race here in Bella Vista, had about 300 people participate in that, and had great support from Bella Vista, had people from 15 states come to that event. Just 2 weeks ago, Brandon mentioned the U.S. Adventure Race National Championship that came through Bella Vista as well. And we recently announced the Oz Stage Race, which is going to be a 4-day mountain bike stage race here in Bella Vista. That will be, it'll go through many communities, but it's going to be based here in Bella Vista. We've had a great working relationship with Discover Bella Vista. It's an important part in the event production business, and I urge you to continue it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. The next speaker is Kurt Carlson of 44 Kirkwall Drive.
Since we're past time and it's clearly been made, I'll waive my sentiments on that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, his subject was the A&P Commission. The next speaker is Tom Deniston of 8 Plockton Lane.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members, and I'm here tonight to support the A&P. I don't understand the supporters of the request to repeal the A&P because I think you've all heard tonight that it brings value to our community. The only comment that I have would be for Brendan and his team to focus more on promotion to the local community and local residents. A number of neighbors that I know have no idea of what it is the A&P does, but that's not a reason to repeal the good benefits it provides our community. So all I want to say to you tonight is please vote to keep the A&P Commission. I think it brings value to our city, as we've all heard tonight, the comments that have been made. My only suggestion is to do a little bit better local community promotion, and I think there'll be greater support for it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was the final citizen speaker. And now it's time for council member reply. Anyone wants to say anything? Shay Newport.
Hey there, I just want to thank everyone for coming out and for participating in democracy and sharing your thoughts with us. I'll reserve discussing my thoughts on the A&P for the debate section of the agenda. Thanks.
Craig Montiel.
The only thing I'd like to mention is anybody that spoke and everybody did fantastic. I know it's a little nerve-wracking up there when you get into it. If you have time, please email us, because it's hard to keep track of who said what and what points they made and things of that nature. I don't think we'll be voting like a solid vote tonight. This is going to go. It is a resolution? Okay. I apologize. Last 10 days of my life have been crazy. So that being said, if you could just filter those comments back through us just so we kind of have an idea of who said what, it'd be appreciated. Thank you. And that goes for what your positions are and things like that. That helps us as far as having contacts throughout the community also. Thank you.
It was pointed out to me that it actually is an ordinance. Anna, did you want to say something?
Yes, just wanted to thank everybody for coming in and speaking. I'll reserve my comments on A&P and other topics till we get to those on the agenda, but really appreciate a lot of what was said tonight. It's really great to hear. Thanks.
I would like to thank everybody for coming out and speaking. I particularly was impressed by all the speakers, but I noticed Randy Fisher in particular talking about permits and impact fees. It's my perception this council has been reluctant to have permit fees in most cases, and certainly reluctant to raise them. So it was refreshing to hear from someone in the building industry that that's necessary. if you don't have permit fees, haven't met the right level, guess who pays for it? Taxpayers do, which would be most of the rest of you in this room. So anyway, I found that interesting. So the next item on the agenda is the monthly financial report. We have the 7-month period through July 31. And I want to read just a few key factors. It's a good report. The total revenues, operating revenues, are up 11.1% compared to last year. County sales tax is up 4% compared to last year. City sales tax is up 13.7% compared to last year. I have noticed every one of those numbers is a little softer than it was last month. So it's still up substantially, but maybe that's a sign of something we'll see in the future. I did want to also mention on the operating expenses, we're $646,000 below budget. So I feel like we're doing a good job in controlling the expenses at this point. And, you know, we just had our audit report recently, and that was, it was a clean audit and very satisfying, the feedback we got on that. So I feel good about our financial position at this point. We have done our proclamations, and at this point, I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules of order and procedure to allow all ordinances on the agenda to be read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
It was Larry Wilms and Travis Harp. A roll call vote on the issue of amending, suspending the rules and reading ordinances by title only.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. Thank you for that. First item on the agenda for voting is the consent agenda, which is the minutes of the August 25 meeting.
Move to approve, and I'd like to compliment the clerk on the diligence in putting that together.
Second.
That was Mr. Wilms and Mr. Harp. Roll call vote on the consent agenda.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. The next item is an ordinance adopting a new zoning ordinance and map for the city of Bella Vista, Chapter 109, repealing prior zoning ordinances and maps and for other purposes. This is the third reading, and we're going to, I think the best way to proceed would be to consider the various amendments first and then go back to the ordinance itself. I've been advised by my legal counsel that that's the correct way to proceed.
I would, after reviewing the small cell permitting requirements as an amendment to that ordinance, I would move to amend Chapter 109 for the small cell permitting requirements.
Okay, so you're moving to I sound like, I'm not trying to speak for you, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I do know what you intend, I just want to make sure we state it correctly. You're moving to amend the proposed ordinance to approve the proposed amendment regarding adding small cell permitting requirements.
Correct.
Okay, so that, Mayor, that motion would need a second.
A second.
All right, so Mayor, at
Okay.
this point, there's debate on the small cell.
Yeah, is there any discussion by anyone? Okay, that was, incidentally, that was motion by Mr. Wilms and second by Travis Harp.
Do we need to vote on this issue?
We'll vote on each amendment as they're made.
Yeah.
So I would,
There's nothing for you to do at this
Yeah,
point. There's a motion.
We're
and a
ready
second.
for a roll call vote now, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Council members Wilms,
yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel, Harp,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. I thought I might first do the amendments that are sponsored by the city and based on the work session appeared to be quite non-controversial. So for the second one, it's clarifying the front yard restriction requirement for electrical panels as recommended by staff. And Carroll Electric agreed with this, so we felt like we were ready to go.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Well, so there's it's technically a motion to amend the proposed ordinance to change the provisions regarding clarifying the front yard restriction requirement.
Right.
So
So let's see, that was Mr. Hunchel and Mr. Wilms. Roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. The other amendment I wanted to visit right away is an amendment to the ordinance revising the proposed zoning map for boundary clarification, future land use policy, and other purposes as recommended by staff.
So moved.
Second.
That was Mr. Wilms and Shane Newport. Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. The next one was an amendment removing the septic tree preservation requirements as requested by Council Member Harp. Did you want to say something, Travis?
Yeah, after careful review and consideration of this, I don't believe this amendment would fix the problem that I was targeting, so I'd like to make a motion to table this indefinitely.
Second.
Second.
Okay. To table what indefinitely?
The amendment.
All right, well, the amendment has not been offered yet, has not been moved. So really, I think what you're saying is I'm just not going to offer that motion to amend at this point,
That's correct.
and we're just going to move on to something else. Is that-
Sounds great.
Okay, because if you table this whole thing indefinitely, you would have done something you very much didn't intend to do.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
The next one is an amendment clarifying, and so an amendment to the ordinance clarifying sewer utility installation design requirements as recommended by staff. So we have an amendment, we have a couple of amendments to the amendment, but I just read the amendment, and I'd like to have Taylor come up and explain the history of how we got to where we are right now. Taylor Robertson.
Essentially, this amendment came forward after, I do have to apologize too. You might be thinking already, but I may have a lisp tonight, so just apologizing in advance. Had some dental work done, so it's a little different to talk to you guys tonight than in the past. But essentially, the village wastewater director, or general manager, Frank Knight, and I got together to discuss issues that he was having with installation regarding sewer installs of our new builds with single-family residential. And essentially, he was having a issue of getting consistency and enforcement of the requirements that he requires of installation of sewer. And so he asked me if it would be possible if we could clarify and get more consistency and streamlining the sewer installation that's being done with new builds by codifying that. And so that is when staff proposed at the Planning Commission work session in late June, before we had our public hearing in July, to codify their installation requirements. At the work session, the Planning Commission chose to adopt it by reference. And so that's what happened at the public hearing. And then it came to you guys with your first reading in late July as adopted by reference. However, our legal staff advised that we need to do technical language. We cannot adopt an outside body's reference guide, basically. And so staff proposed this amendment to you guys to put that in technical writing rather than adopting by reference, and got their approval on that back before it went to public hearing. And so other than that, that's really the history on it. Village Wastewater sought this from staff. We are being a good team player and also recognize the need for consistent installation of sewer design. Should we ever have another sewer entity in Bella Vista, whether it's the city or someone else, once we start hopefully getting more sewer in the future, we need more consistency. So that's why staff worked with Village Wastewater and put it in technical language rather than not having anything at all. So that's just how we got here.
So to clarify, Village Wastewater agreed with the amendment.
Correct. Well, originally it wasn't an amendment. The work session document was technical language of their reference guide, yes.
Yeah.
But yes, Village Wastewater approached the city and asked for assistance in getting streamlined installation with sewer, so.
And so if I could add one thing on that, the proposed staff amendment that's in the packet, there was a typo that we noticed that had been brought up. That's fixed and that is correct in your packet. So the staff proposed amendment is what's in the packet. And then I believe there are others to discuss. But
I think there's 3 amendments total.
Okay. Now, one of the other amendments was suggested by Travis Harp, and that was to just, I think your intent was to have this one sentence replace all of it. Is that correct?
That's correct, Mayor.
Yeah. And it says wastewater collection systems must be installed to meet Arkansas Department of Health requirements. So that's one possible amendment.
that's what's on this paper that
Yeah.
you've got in front of you.
And the other amendment is by Mr. Wilms. Did you want to talk about that?
I guess I do. I know the planning department and Mr. Knight, the director of the Village Wastewater Company, had met back in June, and when I looked at this, it was my perception, having come from this field and my background, that there were things in here that perhaps are not as well clarified for precision of installation to get what you want. You have to say what you want to get what you want installed. Not all the verbiage in here did that to the degree that I anticipated that the wastewater company would require or expect. And so if you don't say it, you don't get it. It's as simple as that in a specification. This is a specification document, even though it's a standard, they call it a standard, but it's a specification for installation. Upon reviewing that, I noticed some things that I had questions about. I met with the director of the Village Wastewater on Friday, which was after our work session, and we went through this. He added some items to my recommendation that was presented at the work session, and they are highlighted in the document you have before you, I believe. I think that's the right one. Which one did which one is passed out? Do you? This may not be the right one. That's not the right one. It's not the right one. It's not the same one you printed off this afternoon, Attorney Kelly.
Well, can't see that stack that I just printed off and put back there. I thought what had been passed out was the same as that. Yes. Would you mind handing that to each of them so that they can compare those and make sure we got
This was the draft that I passed out at the work session that you have. There's one that supersedes that was done afterwards. And that incorporates additional refinements by the director.
So I need a clarification on this after having looked at it. There are, in the colorized version, there are some highlighted lines in green, and then I think probably they look in gray on
They're shaded on the black and white copy. Those are an FYI, those are not amendments, those are just explanations.
Okay.
Those are not,
So
not
it's
a
your
part of the
intent,
document.
it's your intention that what is highlighted in the color version on the green not be a part of the text?
Correct.
Okay.
Those are for clarifications or to help the council person review it or layperson review it to explain the essence of the change. Yes.
Would you be open to hearing the council's stance on my amendment before we dive deep into this?
Particularly, Councilman Harp, if you look on page 2, at the bottom, there's item number 3. And item number 3 says, all wastewater components system design shall be approved by the Arkansas Department of Health and the village wastewater as a precursor to installation. Now, the state does not set the standards. They provide the requirements for it. So they don't write a spec. They do not write a specification of how to build it. What we're doing is providing a standard of installation, and that's not a part of what they say. Their standard doesn't go to that detail. And so it's not a specification. Ours is more of a specification saying this is what you have to do to get it done and accepted.
Right, it's just my stance that the authority having jurisdiction on this should be the standard. So,
Well, it is, and it says that in number 3 here in this document that I've presented.
Mayor, if I could point out one thing just procedurally. Before we debate the amendments, we need to have a motion and a second to consider the amendment. So
Motion
I
to-
believe Mr. Williams is moving to amend according to what has just been handed out. So that motion would require a second before you moved into a debate on his.
Motion to amend section 109-112B of the proposed section 109, chapter 109.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Okay, so Mayor, if there's not a second, then perhaps another proposed amendment, if Mr. Harp wanted to offer a proposed amendment and see if there's a second to that for purposes of debate.
I motion to approve my amended section, which you have as a handout.
Okay, so Mr. Harp has moved to amend the proposed ordinance in accordance with this page, which has the one line on it. And that's his motion, Mayor, and so that would require a second for further debate.
Is there a second?
I do have a question, if there's no second.
We need
Okay, Greg,
Okay,
Angel?
just to kind of roll this thing back,
Okay,
because
so
I'm
can
getting.
I, for
Yes,
purposes
please.
of the procedures in the record, so there was a motion made and no second, so the motion has died for lack of a second.
Yes.
And now you've recognized Mr. Honchel for further debate.
Okay.
Okay.
So, kind of what I'm understanding is that Councilmember Wilms, he proposed basically the same language in his amendment as Councilmember Harp, is that correct?
No.
No.
Councilman Harp's is included in mine as
That,
number 3.
okay, that, let me rephrase, that's what I'm, well, you're both basically saying the same thing.
We have
Ish.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, in that
No,
regard.
that's not correct.
Mr. Harp's non-seconded motion to amend was this. The
I
whole
under-
section would read this.
I understand. but-
Mr. Harp's, Mr. Wilms is several pages, so
Okay.
there's.
I
More
understand,
language.
but that's what I mean. I'm not, I want to make sure that I'm staying up with the conversation correctly. So, yeah, I mean, I understand Councilmember Harp, his is wholly separate from Councilmember Wilms, but it's technically kind of the same language. Councilmember Wilms is offering a higher degree of more intense.
I'm taking the version presented by the planning and zoning director to us and adding corrections to that.
Okay.
per
And I-
the
They're both
input
dead
from
for
the
lack of a second
utility
anyway.
Superintendent.
Right, so both of the proposed motions to amend are dead for lack of a
They're done.
second.
Okay.
So really, the
no
discussion
need to
probably ought to
discuss.
move on to
Okay.
something else.
I do have one other question, because it seemed like there was a motion made and we just kind of glossed over removing the septic. I don't know, did we take a vote on the removing septic tree preservation requirements as requested
So-
by Councilmember Harp?
No, he's indicated he's not going to offer that
Okay.
motion to amend, and so that's not going to be under consideration.
Well, the way that it was presented and then the interaction after, I didn't know what was happening. I'm doing this for myself.
I'm here to keep it all, I'm here to direct traffic, so I'm here to happy to answer questions.
I apologize.
We could have a motion to approve the amendment that the staff presented.
Motion to amend.
You're moving to amend the staff recommended amendment?
Yes.
Is there a second?
What are you offering?
The one in the
I didn't hear the rest of the response from the mayor. I apologize.
So we're motioning to approve what Taylor described, or we're making our own language for the sewer requirements?
Basically, what happened is, that's why I asked Taylor to recount a little history, is we got together with Village Wastewater, and there was an agreement between the two of them on this amendment.
Okay.
Then later on, Mr. Wilms felt there were some technical problems with it. He met with Village Wastewater, and Frank Knight agreed to his version. So Frank Knight has actually agreed to two different versions, is what it amounts to.
Well, the first version he agreed with when it was presented, what, in June, Taylor? Where are you? You're hiding. That was back in June that you guys worked that out,
Correct, that I
right?
got his approval in writing, yes. And so she's motioning.
There's a motion that we need to address.
I will
whether-
second.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, so now there can be debate on the proposed staff amendment.
I apologize.
Anna?
Okay, Taylor, sorry. So in the form that it's in, we have a motion and a second, but I think that there are still possibly loose ends. Is that something that you think some of those loose ends still need to be addressed? You can come back with us with an improved resolution, or do you feel like what we have is complete?
I feel like what we have, we don't have anything right now. So yes, having this is their pre-approval. I feel comfortable with that. And if we need to come back and do an ordinance amendment, we can do that as well. But the one that's before you today, I even talked to Village Wastewater again last week, reinstated to make sure they were still okay with it. And I was told, yes, they're still good with it. Essentially, they've approved both. And else.
It's not up to them,
Yeah,
it's up to you.
I know. But it's good to have support, your utility provider, so. I'm confident with it, and if we need to get more specific with it, we can return, by all means.
Shay,
And
Newport?
it was mentioned, I don't know if everyone caught it, that there were some typos that have been corrected between last week's work session and today. So staff did.
The double knot was removed.
Right. So it's clean.
Okay, well, we have a motion and a second. Is there more discussion? We could take a roll call vote on this.
To be clear, the motion was Shay, the second was Craig.
Yes.
And roll call vote.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was for the version presented by.
In the staff.
Right,
planning
staff
department
version.
With the packet originally.
Okay. Council members Wilms,
No.
Isbell,
Yes?
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
No.
Newport.
Yes.
I think the vote is 3-2, is that correct?
You can vote in favor if you so desire.
Yeah, I will vote in favor.
All right. So that makes it 42 in favor.
42. Okay.
So that brings us back to the ordinance. We've now walked through all the amendments and passed them all except for the one that Travis Harp withdrew. So should I read this again?
No, sir, there's no
It
reason to
was
read
read
it
a few
again. It's been
times.
read the third time, so final
So-
debate on the proposed ordinance and then potentially a motion to approve.
Yeah,
I would move to delay
Larry?
adoption of ordinance 109 for 60 days to allow us to continue review of the document itself.
So you're moving to table this for for the
2 months, 2 meetings.
November, to the November regular meeting?
Yes.
All right, that motion would require a second.
Is there a second? Okay, motion fails for lack of a second. Is there more discussion by anyone?
Yeah, I have a question.
Travis Harp.
To satisfy Larry's need, he could always come back to this ordinance with his amendments later, is that correct?
You all can amend anything you adopt at any point in time.
Motion to approve.
I did just have one thing to add.
Sorry, Craig had a question.
I mean, the amount of information that got dropped in our laps on this is incredible. So there are going to be things that we will bring back. I mean, I know we will. It's impossible to catch every single nuance of what's presented. And I'm not saying that we miss it, but there are things that we can tighten up or get a little more laxed on. With that being said, that's the only comment. And to Priest, McNichol, their hard work, Taylor's team, everybody did fantastic. I mean, it is a lot of information to try to dissect. So, great job.
Second.
That was a motion by Shay Newport and a second by Anna Isbell. That's a motion on the ordinance, chapter 109.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, motion to
Motion to
approve.
approve.
Roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
No.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-1. Next one is an ordinance adopting a new subdivision ordinance for the city of Bella Vista, chapter 107, repealing the prior subdivision ordinance and for other purposes. And this is also on third reading. Is there any discussion? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
That was Mr. Wilms and Travis Harp, second. Roll call vote on the motion to approve chapter 107.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel, Harp,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. Next one is an ordinance establishing a business license requirement for qualifying businesses operating within the city, providing for classes and exemptions, requiring annual renewal, establishing fees, providing penalties for violations, and for other purposes. This is on second reading. There are, I believe, 3 amendments by Mr. Wilms. Shay?
I just want to say that it's my desire to let this go to a third reading. I've received emails about it, and I know we have some proposed amendments, so rather than actioning anything tonight, it's my preference to wait and discuss it further in next month's work session.
Craig Hanschel?
I agree. That's just probably the last 3 or 4 days. I apologize. In the last 3 or 4 days, I've received several emails regarding this also, so yeah, I'd like to see this go to a third reading. Rather than
Travis Harp?
I would like to see all ordinance go to a third reading.
Okay, it sounds like people maybe don't want to talk about the amendments tonight. Want to think about them a little more, or?
I like that idea. Work session.
I think one more meeting would be fine.
Okay. Next one is new business. Took all this time to get to new business. Ordinance H, amending Article 3 parades of Chapter 24 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Bella Vista to provide for better regulation of special events, to rename the article, and for other purposes.
Move to waive the third reading and for the final.
So you're moving to suspend the rules and go to third and final
Suspend the
reading?
rules and go to third and final reading.
Is there a second? If we can have discussion afterwards. Is there a second?
Second.
That was a motion by Larry Wilms and a second by Anna Isbell.
Mayor.
Cassie gave us an explanation of this at the last meeting, but we're open for discussion
We need to
here.
have a roll call vote on the motion to suspend the rules.
Shouldn't we discuss it first? I mean, can't people
Not,
discuss that?
you can discuss it on third reading, but there's a motion and a second to
Oh,
go to third
okay.
reading.
So,
Can we scroll to H? My computer died.
Sorry.
So Mayor, the business at this point is a vote, roll call vote on
okay,
a
roll
motion to
call
suspend the
vote to
rules.
go on suspending the rules and going to third and final reading.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
No.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-1. So we will go to third and final. I'll read it for third and final time. Amending Article 3, Parades of Chapter 24 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Bella Vista to provide for better regulation of special events, to rename the article, and for other purposes. Is there discussion? No. Roll call vote?
Motion to adopt.
There needs to be a motion to
Oh,
approve.
okay. I'm sorry.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was Shay Newport and Larry Wilms on the motion to approve. Is a roll call vote?
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. Next one is an ordinance repealing ordinance number 2017-15, which levied a tax on hotel, motel, and prepared food sales, created the Bella Vista Advertising and Promotion Commission, and for other purposes. This is on first reading. Shay, did you want to say something?
Can I make a motion to table indefinitely?
Mayor, that motion's in order, seconded.
Shay made a motion to table indefinitely.
Second.
Second by Anna Isbell. Is there discussion? Travis?
Yeah, I have a lot of discussion points, so I guess I'll just tell them now, hopefully that I can discourage everyone from tabling this indefinitely. One of the things that I'd like to highlight is, notice that you didn't see any Bella Vista restaurant owners or any Bella Vista short-term rental owners that came up and spoke on behalf of this tax. All we saw was people predominantly in Bentonville that were getting paid by this tax to make videos and ride mountain bikes, which I'm happy for them because that sounds like an awesome way to make money. However, the people that are actually subject to these taxes don't want these taxes. The same people that this Advertising and Promotion Commission claims to benefit, they don't want this tax. They don't want to have to pay this tax anymore. The short-term rental owners have to send in monthly reports to the Advertising and Promotion Commission, and for what? It's redundant because they're zeroed out every time. Because we have the most phenomenal advertising and promotion platform for a short-term rental that you could imagine. It's called Airbnb and VRBO. That's where 99.9% of all short-term rental owners in Bella Vista get their guests from. They also advertise for the restaurants. They all have guest books and these sort of things. So, also, I handed you out a lot of bullet points, and that was corresponding with the white pages that we got from Brandon Kelly. So if you're interested enough or care enough about this, the section 1 in there corresponds with this. I'm not going to take the time and read all of these bullet points, but I just want you to know that the people that, the main stakeholders mentioned in here, don't desire this. And none of them were here to speak on behalf of this tonight.
Greg?
Okay, I missed the work session, and I apologize to everybody. My wife had surgery. I was not there. I was in Little Rock. So I missed all the excitement, but the glaring problem I have with this is that having served on several committees, group, whatever, the A&P represents community to me. In my mind, it's appointments and volunteers, which are, wholly separate, but so the A&P is run by appointment, to my understanding. So those people are, they've been, what's my word? I can't think of my word. But anyway, it'll come to me.
You're talking about the commission?
Yeah. I mean,
Appointed by the.
yeah, when they're appointed, they get vetted. I apologize. My brain's scattered. But I really don't understand why we would prefer to have an algorithm, run our promotion and all of that stuff. I just struggle with, conceptually, I don't understand why we'd want to remove community out of this equation. Because that is people that take their time, they are, just adamant and passionate about what they do, and that's why they get involved. And I think that's a great aspect of what the A&P provides throughout. $17.4 billion, pretty good business model. I don't know anything how it's constructed, but if they're bringing in that kind of revenue into our state, we all benefit. And, I'm not one for taxes, and I don't know if it's being implied that if I vote for this or against this, that I'm actually saying I'm for taxes. I'm not. I am for our city to grow, and this is gonna have to be a very crucial and careful growth pattern. And I think growing with an established group like the A&P, that we can probably learn how to get through. This next 10 years in Bella Vista is gonna be nuts. I mean, crazy. When Oztrail comes in, it's gonna be nuts. But no, I mean, I don't have a problem having a discussion about it. I certainly think that people need time to gather information and come and filter in and have whatever discourse they want to have regarding, their thoughts on it. So, I'm not in favor of it, but I'm more than willing to listen to discussions.
Mayor,
Travis?
you said that it's ran by volunteers, and the 17 million, that's the state of Arkansas alone, not the Bella Vista Advertising and Promotion Commission. But one of the things that I think is worth mentioning is, yes, there's volunteers, but I believe several of the people that were speaking tonight got paid to ride a bike on our trails and make a video about it. And also, this brings in $500,000 a year to the Advertising and Promotion Commission. There's one staff member who makes $140,000 a year salary. So you do the math on the percentage of that. It's over 20% of the tax goes to the salary of one person. So I don't think it's right to say that it's all volunteers.
I'm not implying that. I'm saying that it's community-driven. That's the only point that
Mayor,
I'm...
the motion on the floor is whether to table indefinitely. I think the debate has drifted past
Right, I'm not
to the
trying
merits.
I'm not trying to rehash the debate. I'm just making the point that I wouldn't be supportive of it, but I'm not supportive of tabling either.
Okay, motion on the floor is to table it indefinitely. Roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
No.
Harp,
No.
Newport,
Yes.
Mayor, you may vote in favor of the table motion if you so desire.
Yes. Motion carries 4-2 to table indefinitely. Next one is a resolution accepting the financial audit report presented by Forvis Mazars LLP for the year ending December 31, 2024. Any discussion? He made a presentation last week. Craig?
I guess I would make a motion to accept that. I thought the audit report was was extremely well done. It was thorough, thanks to our staff being the generator of much of the information for that. And I think it gave us a reassurance, I think, of Bella Vista's financial position.
Seconded.
Is that a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Shay Newport seconded. So that was Larry Wilms and Shay Newport on the motion to accept the financial audit. Roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. The next matter is Resolution K, establishing respective cost sharing of health benefits between the City of Bella Vista and certain police department and fire department retirees and their dependents. Travis Harp, did you want to speak on this?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I've reached out to the city and I got some interesting numbers to share with you just really quick. If you're a certified firefighter EMT, your hourly wage here in Bella Vista starts off at $14.88 an hour. If you're a firefighter paramedic, which is 2 additional years of college, almost 3,000 or 6,000 hours of clinics, you get paid $18.72 an hour. If you're a permit tech in the planning division, you'll get paid $19.19 an hour. If you're a building inspector, you'll get paid $22.70 an hour. A police officer, you'll get $21.78 an hour. And anyways, I just wanted to share some of those numbers before I tell you.
I'm sorry. We need to pause because there's a problem with the recording and not to, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but it's critical that we.
Yes, it's been requested. We have a short recess for laboratory purposes, so.
Okay, so if there's a formal recess, you're going to have to move and second and vote.
Oh, okay.
Do a temporary recess.
Second.
How long is temporary?
10 minutes.
Okay.
Do I need to wait for the recording?
We need to pause we need to stop until we get the recording fixed, and that'd be a great opportunity for people to take care of what they need to take care of.
Yeah.
And then not start back until they
Get it fixed.
return.
Okay.
That's why the 10 minutes was chosen.
What's going on? What happened?
We got a recording problem, and we got a bathroom problem.
You ask an attorney, you're gonna get a complicated answer to any question.
I see that.
We have 2 problems. Recording problem and a bathroom problem.
Maybe go try it here.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. No, I deleted everything and I stuck, so. There it goes. Well, the good part. Can you not see the sound from them?
Beautiful, all right, okay. So you headed home now? Or you're over there, huh? Oh.
I don't know how long it's out. She just saw it.
We have no clue why that happened. Yes, but we're saved because they are live streaming tonight.
Is that, in being in a metal can involved, is that make, on a Bluetooth, maybe it's interfering with the signal, you think? I don't know. Just-
No, because I asked her. It's kind of
I'm saying it was sitting in the middle,
I get it,
you know.
but I told Eric I was gonna do that.
Oh,
just to
okay.
protect it, and he said no.
Okay.
That was a nuisance,
I don't, it didn't, we had problems in court last week.
and it was funny.
It was a total, we couldn't get Zoom to, the sound to come through the system when we were doing Zoom. But, yeah. And Sydney couldn't fix it while we were. Okay, Mayor, I think we've addressed our recording issues, so Mr. Harp was talking.
The TV guy's not quite back.
You're good?
Okay.
Oh, we are? Okay.
We're good?
Mayor, where we left off, I think Mr. Harp was speaking in favor of
Okay, Mr. Harp.
All right, so-
Please continue.
Yeah, I'll start over if nobody minds. Firefighter EMT starting hourly wage in Bella Vista, Arkansas, $14.88 an hour. Firefighter paramedic starting wage, which that's 2 additional years of college. And I didn't write down the hours because I thought I would have it memorized and spend a night. But anyways, it's 2 additional years of college and a lot of clinical time. And then those people, they get paid $18.72 an hour. A permit tech over in the planning division gets paid $19.19 an hour. A building inspector, $22.70 an hour. A police officer, $21.78 an hour. Now, I say that to say they're not compensated very well. Now, I will say the fire department, they work a lot of hours, so they get a lower salary than the police officers. That's because the police officers do 40-hour rotation. The fire department does a 56-hour rotation. So for someone at the fire department to accrue overtime or time and a half, they have to work over 56 hours during the pay period. So anyways, they don't make a great living, right? It's hard to live in Northwest Arkansas economy on those wages. And if we could give them a benefit like shared cost of health insurance after they spent 25 years with the city of Bella Vista, I think we ought to look at that. I think that's a small price to pay for someone who risks their lives every day for those kind of wages. So that's why I bring this up. And I was curious if the police department and/or fire department had any additional data they could provide to us on this.
Is that okay for someone to come up and address?
If Mr. Harp can request somebody come up and answer some questions.
Yeah. Is there someone who wants to address the group?
Sure. Anyone from the police, any representative of the police department? Lieutenant
Well, it
Stiles?
would be, it's a point of personal privilege, so if you all have, you have a question to ask him, you could ask him a question, but to come and enter into the debate, he couldn't go that far as to do that.
Okay, well, I have a question to ask.
Okay, you can come up. He has a question for you, if someone wants to come up.
Lieutenant Stiles?
This is Lieutenant Byron Stivel of the Police Department.
Good evening. I thought this would work like whenever staff does something, Taylor has a chance to tell her side of the story, but I'm just curious, what kind of benefits on recruitment or retention would this have on the police department?
Well, first, just Captain wanted to make sure that they understood that they wanted to be here, but they had pre-scheduled vacations. This has great opportunities for recruiting and retention. When you look at the Big Five, or even any other agency within Northwest Arkansas, Bella Vista Police Department only pays higher wages than Lowell and Sulphur Springs. And so Chief is always trying to think outside the box in order to recruit and retain. And this is one of those opportunities. This is a long-term investment for the police department and the officers, for sure.
So the Bella Vista Police Department only pays better than Lowell and Sulphur Springs?
Mhm.
What is the average starting salary for a police officer, say at state police?
So the state police's starting salary is $70,000. Their medical benefits are also being paid for, and so is their retirement. So total compensation is about $108,000 for a brand-new state trooper.
What about a city like Springo?
You know, I'm not certain on Springdale. You know, the Fayetteville, Springdale, Bentonville, they're all pretty compatible. They kind of pull from each other back and forth. The thing is, you know, they have some longevity pay. They have some, they have merit raises almost every year, in addition to the COLA. So there's kind of some differences there.
And how many police officers would qualify for this?
As of right now, we have 3 that could potentially benefit, and then we probably wouldn't add to that almost through 2034, since it's been moved to 25 years.
And there would
Larry?
be, there would be potentially up to 4 and possibly 5 firefighters that would qualify besides the 3 police officers.
I think those numbers changed. did they
And
not, Chief?
so, and so it's not a huge number. It's not a big count. The benefits currently under a LOP fee is that you retire from the police or fire, you retire with the requirement that you have access to the municipality's employee insurance.
Sure.
That's correct.
That's a standard.
So,
That's a law.
And as for the employee, if the employee chooses, the retired employee chooses, they may also pick up for the family on that plan as well.
That's correct. And the city has the city governing body has a chance to pay, like we're doing right now, they have a chance to say, yes, we will offset or help with that healthcare coverage in the law.
And it's being touted as being a huge benefit. When I sat down and reviewed some of the details with our HR director this afternoon, it was difficult to find that the benefits are going to be significant or substantial and may not even be much more than measurable, quite frankly.
Well, I think it depends on how you look at it, Mr. Williams.
That may be, but
Just to put it in perspective, if you don't mind. So not every member of the fire department or the police department gets to be the chief or even a member of command staff. So when you look at an officer.
Microphone, please.
Sorry, trying to balance between the two of us.
That's all right.
When you look at just say a police officer's salary alone, if you're just an officer throughout your entire 28 years, you do get 84% of your pay. But unfortunately, when we die, so you're looking at $70,000 a year potentially, 84% of that to live off of, okay? When we pass away, there is no benefits that go to our family members. Our life expectancy as a police officer is 65 years old. And so when you look at those numbers, there is a benefit. If we're gonna give our benefits to our family, we gotta go down to about 60% of our pay. And so every little bit helps, right? So if you're looking at 60%, what are we looking at? Maybe $26,000, $30,000 a year before taxes to live off of? And then what? Insurance at the city's rates, $1,300, $1,500 a month. So yeah, I mean, there is a benefit for us for sure. And you know, when you look at those numbers, Mr. Wilms, it does help. Maybe just a little bit, but it lets us know when, you know, living under a microscope with the professions that we have, us going to those calls, I mean, there is some appreciation there for sure.
I have a question, Mayor.
Shay, hang on a second.
Okay.
First, I just want to say I definitely support the spirit of this. I support the idea of giving you all as much tools as possible to support yourselves, your family, and also retention in a very competitive employment market. I would like to table this till next month simply because I don't feel like there's enough information. I appreciate the urgency that you brought this forward with, but I think it's kind of led to a lack of information. It might even be similar to my tornado siren proposal that we might remember, where there just wasn't enough information to act on it. For me, I don't really see a study or any kind of information on how this would definitively help retention, and I work in the business world, and so let's say hypothetically, if we were going to spend $50,000 on this, in the business world, I always make sure, am I spending that in the most effective way, right? Is a billboard the right modality? Is a TV commercial the right modality? And so what I want to be sure of is if we're going to spend these dollars, that there's a little bit of information about, is that the right modality? I also have questions about the maybe arbitrary number of 25%. I have questions about, should we extend this to the family members? I obviously want to do as much as possible, but we do also have a revenue budget of roughly $23 million. And so we do have to make that go as far as possible. So personally, that's just kind of where I'm at with it. I just want to share that with you all. Again, I very much appreciate everything you and your departments do for our city and for me personally, but I would like to just have more information and address this further next month.
Is that a motion?
No, just.
Oh, okay.
I have one more question.
But just saying where I'm at.
To be honest, Travis, I was surprised you didn't come with an amendment tonight after the discussion you had with Wendy last week. And I know our HR has been doing some work on this, and I thought she had some good concepts. I think it needs a little more time to iron out. That's just my opinion.
Well, while I have them up here, can I ask my question?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I'm
dying to
sorry,
ask this.
Travis. Go ahead.
Chief Sims, I want two questions for you. The first question is, how many other agencies in the area are beating the fire department in pay? And then my second question is for you and also for Lieutenant Stivel. Do any of your employees qualify for reduced or free lunches or childcare vouchers or any other low-income assistance?
Second question, I have no idea, because that's one of the things I don't sit around and talk about with my staff. That's just something that's never come up. So on the first portion of your question, go ahead and ask that again, please.
Lieutenant Stivel gave us an example of kind of the big five competitors for the police department, and they were only paying more than two of those agencies. Do you know the number of the fire departments that we're paying better than?
The city of Bella Vista does a very, very good job of staying competitive on the fire side. That is something we look at every year during the budget cycle to see where we're at compared to other departments. And I would say that we're probably, Glenda, you can correct me if I'm wrong up here, but I think we stay pretty comparable to the four major departments that we have to compete with in Northwest Arkansas. Would that be fair to say? So on the fire side, we stay pretty competitive. And I did want to add, on the question you asked Lieutenant Stivel, is the fire department currently right now just has 2 employees that would meet this requirement, and that's myself, 30 plus years, and that's my deputy chief, 40 plus years. Folks, I can't do this forever. I can tell you right now, we're both going to stay on the insurance, regardless of what happens here. We're both going to be on here because the exchange is not the place for us. We've already found that out. I'm going to be here whether you pay anything or not. I'm going to be on the policy for the next 8 or 9 years. But I tell you what, it would help our services here for the city of Bella Vista and the Bella Vista POA. It would really help to have some help from the governing body to help us get through those times. That's a lot of money we got to pay for insurance, folks, and that's one of the things that's always been on my mind. As retirement is approaching, folks, I can't do this forever. I've been the chief here for 18 years. I'm getting tired, folks. I'd like to have some help.
My other question, Chief, and I'll let the council do what they will with this, and also for Lieutenant Stivel, if he wishes to answer, are you aware of anybody within the agency that would like to retire but has mentioned retirement is not possible because of the insurance?
Not that I'm aware of. And like I said, there's not very many people that meet this requirement in the fire department.
Yes, we definitely have a few. You have some that are already on the drop, trying to continue their service so that they can help offset some of that cost. Some that are contemplating doing that, having already been with the city 26 years, and I'm sure that there will be more in the future.
Would one of you explain to the city council folks how the drop works? whoever thinks they'd be
Right.
better at it.
So, I'm hoping, as far as my understanding, will help be able to explain this. So essentially, once you hit a certain age or a certain time of service, you can do what's called a drop. And what that is that locks you in at your retirement rate, and you have up to 10 years of continuous employment. So I would continue to receive the pay from the city. What my retirement starts going into an account to accrue over those years. Okay? So, right, so our lot fee, 80, let's say the next person does 28 years, they get 84% of their pay. An easy way to look at it is, if for some reason someone made $100,000 a year, $84,000 every year while they're on that drop program goes into an account. So it's like a big lump sum check at the end of it. But they have to continue past that time, depending on what it is, whether it's age or years of service, to continue. So that's 10 extra years of working.
So it's a substantial benefit that no other employee gets. That's why I wanted him to explain it to you.
Okay, so thank you for sharing a lot of that information. I think that this is very complicated, and I think that we need to see a concrete plan put in front of us with numbers behind it, and that's really the only way we can look at it. So I hear what everyone is saying, and I appreciate it. We just have to have a concrete plan to be able to look at, to have a real conversation.
I tell you, oops, sorry.
I was just gonna say, thanks for your time.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And Chief, want to make sure that it was clear, you all have the budget, and we totally respect that decision. Obviously, he's in favor of it, but we do appreciate that tabling it for now to continue the discussions. That's exactly where he was at with that. So.
Do we need a formal motion to table? Okay, motion to table.
So
Till next.
For next,
Yes.
till the next regular meeting.
Yes.
Do you want to table till after the November special election, or so we can see where?
We can always table it again, right?
You can.
Okay.
You can, yeah.
So motion to table until the next regular.
Till next month,
Yes, sir.
And
till October.
that was Shay Newport, and a second by Craig Honchel. Roll call vote, the table for 1 month.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. Thank you for your attention to that. The last item L is resolution authorizing and levying the millage rate of ad valorem real and personal property tax for the city of Bella Vista, Arkansas for the year 2025 to be collected in 2026. And I believe your attachment in the packet shows the amounts. After our meeting last time, we have voted for mills, or the citizens have voted for mills up to 2.0, and the council had done another 4.0. They can go up to 5 mills. They've done 4 mills. So we were at 6 mills. Last year we had a rollback to 5.7 something.
7.3.
Yeah. The reason for the rollback is when if the county's property values are up by more than 10%, something like that.
After a countywide reappraisal, if that would lead to more than 10% increase
Yeah.
in valuation, then the rate gets rolled back so that the increase is not more than 10%. There are a lot of exceptions to it, and it's meant to protect property taxpayers from gigantic tax bill increases because of a countywide reappraisal. So we did a roll, but there was a countywide reappraisal concluded last year. We were notified that we did have to roll back because we would have exceeded that 10% increase based on all of the rules. As I said, it's much more complicated than what I'm making it sound. And so you got that, I'll call it an odd figure with some strange numbers. The general millage went from 4 to 3.81 based on the rollback. And the proposal you have here, of course, the mayor can speak to it, but it would leave it at 3.81. and it would return the police and fire pensions that were approved by the voters back to 1, which is what they approved.
Yeah, they were rolled back to something like .97, and when I was discussing it with with Jason Kelly, he said, you know, I'm not sure that's right, because the voters voted, the rollback's just a one-time thing, and the voters voted for 1.0. So if we did .97 instead, maybe that's not the right thing. And it's a small amount of money. Last time we did the election, we figured $500,000 was $20 a year. So that little amount going up is something like $3 and some cents. So what we did is we kept the rollback for the part council decides, but we thought, well, let's go back to 1.0 for the fire and police pension, because that's what people voted for.
Right.
But, you know, we could go higher. I just thought with the election coming up in November, it probably was smart that, and I do think the property tax is gonna, you know, I said last week, oh, you can't really tell till the end of the year. But right now, it's showing up significantly. So I think it will be up.
Motion to approve.
Sorry, Travis wants to say something.
I would just like to let the council know, inadvertently, I think we were spoken to by our constituents based on the POA vote, and I think the citizens of Bella Vista do not want to increase the price of anything right now. So I think we should leave this what it is right now. And I apologize, my computer is like restarting right now. So what, can you tell me the current rates that they already are?
The total is 5.73 currently. The proposal here is 5.81 because the two 1 mil levies are going to stay at 1 mil because those are voter approved. The rollback for the year of countywide reappraisal is constitutionally mandated. But those would go back to the voter approved 1. And what the mayor's proposing is that the rollback general millage, that you can go up to 5, stay at that 3.81 to not increase that tax.
So the total would be 3.81?
The total is 5.81.
5.81. Plus the 2 single mills.
No, 3.81 plus the 2 is
2 single
5.81.
mills, yeah.
Yeah.
So just, someone tell me if I get this wrong, but the only change we're making from the present year with this to this one is just undoing the rollback that was placed upon us, and we are taking both of the policemen's pension fund and the fireman pension fund, and we're taking them back up to 1 mil each.
From 0.96 to 1.
Right, that's the only change.
That's it. The
Thank you.
0.04 mils,
Yep.
which would be a 10,000th of a dollar of assessed value.
Second.
So that was a motion by Shay Newport and a second by Craig Hanschel for the 5.81.
Roll call vote. Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
No.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-1. Thank you for that. Announcements. The next city council work session is 5:30 p.m. Monday, October 20, here at the district court. Next city council regular meeting, 6 p.m. Monday, October 27 at district court. Planning commission work session, 4:30 p.m. Thursday, October 2, here at the district court. Planning commission regular meeting, 4:30 p.m. or immediately following the board of zoning adjustment, Monday, October 13, here at district court. Board of Construction Appeals, 3 p.m. Tuesday, October 14, if necessary. Fire Station Number 4 Conference Room, 1639 Forest Hills Boulevard. If there's nothing else, we are adjourned. Thank you.